What's up, everyone? Welcome to Northeast DC, and this is Langston Golf Course. I am so excited to bring you this video. For those that are from the DMV area, I think you know this is one of the courses. There's so much history to it. When I was reading about it, I think it was built or opened in the 30s. It was named after John Mercer Langston, who was the first African-American voted into a public, I forget what his position was, but I think into a public official kind of city council position. Correct me if I'm wrong, but basically what's really neat about this is Langston Golf Course. I think everyone knows this serves as like a staple. It's a beacon of light in the community. It does a lot of family outreach, community youth type programs, and you know, for anyone looking to get into golf, this is just a really cool spot where they offer a really casual, laid back feel. It's a challenging but easy course, if that makes sense. You'll kind of see as the video goes on where there's open holes. There isn't a lot of elevation and slope, but there's definitely some strategy on holes you have to think about. So just touring the clubhouse, apparently, and again on their website, I think they're known for their breakfast, and it did smell good in there. I should have stopped by, but super friendly staff, really nice vibes, and excited to show you what the 18 holes look like. And for anyone that's if you've played like East Potomac and Rock Creek, this is, I think it's all owned by the same National Links Trust. So if you've ever played East Potomac and like that, you definitely got to take the drive down the road and play the sister course here, Langston Golf Course. So we're going to play today. It's a par 72, 18 holes, and I'm playing from the blue tees, and I forget what the yardage is. I'll try to post it on the screen, but yeah, first time playing it. I think I should have scooted up, but no big deal. We'll figure it out. Hole 1 starts off at the par 5, and I love courses that do that. Anytime I play a new course and you don't know where to hit, where to miss, that actually becomes evident a few times. I actually thought that was a perfect strike, and lo and behold, my approach shot goes into a greenside bunker. For anyone that's playing this, hole 1, it's a borderline. You have to par better, in my opinion. If it's a super short par 5. I think it plays like 470, and so, not mad at my birdie attempt, and we'll take the par and move on. But yeah, these are, the first few holes, it's really easy, really forgiving in the sense. Look how open that is. So there isn't a lot of, if you have tee box jitters, there isn't a lot of pressure. Just kind of hit the ball, get a feel. And I love courses that do that, kind of give you wide open shots. You're not put under the pressure right away. This is another example of, I thought I pulled it for sure, as you can see the flag there, but didn't know there was a bunker here. It's not like it changes the fact that was a bad swing, but maybe I adjust to miss right and not left. So little things like that, but regardless, we're going to just explore the course together. I actually hit a really good bunker out, and we saved par, so we are even par through 2. And lo and behold, here we are, another par 5. So just to be clear, it's par 5, par 4, par 5 start. And by the way, that was a horrible drive. You can see I scooted up to the whites on this one. I think the tee box was kind of jacked up, and so it was like temporarily a shared box. But anyway, this one has a creek. I decided to go up and over the tree and approach. So basically, you can get home in 2, but look at this approach shot. So I played this, I think the number was like 60 yards. It was playing like 80, 75, 80. Just shows you that the approach shot, and not knowing the course, so it was a back pin, elevated. My rangefinder doesn't have like elevation or slope, so I'm kind of just guessing. But long story short, if I knew the course and I knew that the approach plays a lot longer, I don't think it would have been left. And here's a quick view of the par 3. So I'm showing you now because, again, another elevated, really cool hole. You can see some of the buildings in the background. I've actually never been to this part of Northeast DC, so I don't know my surroundings that well. I noticed that there was a metro station or metro stop pretty nearby. I noticed some buildings. I actually don't know where we are. Shame on me. I'm born and raised in the DMV area and don't even know where we are. It's kind of pathetic. That was huge, by the way. So that putt, we end up saving par after missing short on a really easy par 3. And here we go onto a par 4, hole 5. This is kind of like a dog leg right. For long hitters, you can cut that tree you might have saw in the right corner. I decided just to hit the fairway, and here comes an incoming dart. When you're swinging good, feeling good, I mean, you're going to see me kind of walk it up, and you'll love to see it. I thought I was so close to holing out, and I guess technically I was. It's like a 1.5 feet, 2 feet divot, but all that doesn't matter unless you make the putt, which we do. So we are officially 1 under through 6. So far, I'm loving what I see. Good mixture, good balance. Didn't realize there'd be some elevation changes a little bit too, so that's pretty cool for being in Northeast DC. Hole 6, this goes to kind of the theme of the course. You see how wide open it is. A few trees here and there. The rough isn't that bad, so it's a really kind of easy and forgiving course in the sense of there isn't like a lot of water or hazards or whatnot. And, especially if you're a driver like me, my driver's been kind of inconsistent lately. I actually just played around with some buddies in New Jersey in the Stone Harbor area. And driver was not friendly. So, watching this and reflecting back, it's kind of cool to see that I'm convinced that there's something mentally where, and all golfers can probably attest, if you just visually see how open, there's no pressure, you probably swing free and great. When you have to play a course that's tight and narrow and OB everywhere, you kind of tense up. So anyone who's looking to get some confidence boosting rounds, if you're going through changes, play Langston. You're going to love it. Really, really forgiving, really easy, but again, still challenging, where I'll try to point out some of the quirky holes as we go through. We end up with that approach super short. Really happy with my putter there. So that's a really good 2-putt from maybe 50 plus feet. We will take it all day. And then here comes the first par 3. Second par 3. And this one was playing, so it was kind of windy. I don't know if you can hear it. Look at the flags swirling. That kind of proves my point. This was playing, I think it was like 205, and the wind was swirling. I don't think it was in your face, but I take my 2 to 210 club, and you can see I'm still kind of short and right, where I think it was like 15, 20 yards short. So the wind was howling, doesn't help, but I guess we'll take a bogey for that bad miss. Really wish I could have saved par there. So we're officially back to even par through 8. I need to get off this bogey train. Let's play the last hole of the front 9. And so par 4, dogleg right, and another example of I didn't realize, yes, I'm middle fairway and it looks great, but this is one of the holes where you can actually launch it far and you're okay. Cutting the corner doesn't do you much, so in hindsight, I would have taken a slightly different line. The approach was horrible. I think I clubbed up and it didn't matter even with the wind, so we end up in the greenside bunker, and we got it out, but it wasn't great. We leave ourselves with like a 20-25 footer, and when you're at that point, you just hope you can 2-putt. And look at the cars and stuff in the background, by the way. This is really, really cool. So one thing I actually kind of appreciate now with East Potomac is how it's kind of secluded from the city. This is, you're in the city, you know it. You hear cars honking, you hear hole 18, you're going to see a metro car drive by. But as we make the turn, this is hole 10, and I don't think it was evident on that tee shot, but there is a forced carry. So there's a big water ravine there. Again, not knowing the course. I had no idea on that last approach. I had no idea where I was hitting to. Not even kidding. I decided to just take like a 6-iron and hit and pray. If I were to redo this course, I would change that approach so much. There was a lot of bailout on the right. Look to my left, that's all OB, so right is your friend, and you can go as far right as you want. It's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. So you can see where I am right now. The hole we just played is to the left. Behind you is the driving range. To the left is like the driving range rough. So long-winded way of saying, if I were to play hole 10 again, you could send it, absolutely send it. And if you miss right, I think you're in play no matter what. But now that you've seen the full front 9 and we're on the back 9 officially, my observation, take a look at that tee shot. Notice how there's now a lot more trees. It's a lot more narrow. There's a lot more OB. There's forced carries, like on hole 10, and you'll see a few more. It's almost like a completely different golf course. That's why I think this course is actually pretty cool. It gives you like 2 different looks. The front 9 was pretty open. You can spray driver, barely any trees. And then you'll notice in this back, as I called out, just look how much more narrow, tightens up. There's rough, there's OB. So again, super cool, and I actually love that concept a lot. If I had to choose between the front and back, I think I like the back a little more. It's more challenging, it's more scenic and beautiful, but again, the front 9, it's a really, really good way to kind of get a feel for your swing, warm up to the course. Again, that par 5, par 4, par 5 start, I think that's so cool. I love courses that do that. But anyway, yeah, back to the hole here. I remember that being a really, really good stroke with my 4-iron. I think one of my more pure shots that happened this day. It was a pretty windy day, so I was 4-iron into the wind. We end up short, but nothing like an up and down can't save, right? No big deal. Obviously, we bogey. And speaking of bogeys, we're secretly on the bogey train. Mark, come on, dude. Get it together. We went from 1 under through, at some point in the front 9, to now 3 over. So I think that's 4 bogeys in like the last 6 holes roughly. And if you notice that tee shot, that was another forced carry. This is probably the coolest looking par
cool
three.
view.
Look at
Sucks
that.
it's just all
There's water
muddy.
to your left,
That's
all
the tee
forced
box
carry
there.
right there. It's a really
Here's
beautiful
my
hole.
wall
And
plug.
if you haven't noticed
It's
from
not a green.
the camera right here,
I don't know if you can see it on the
notice
camera,
how
but
it's just
this
this
is
is
the
probably the
biggest
biggest green that I've
green
seen in
I've
my
ever seen
life.
in my
This
life.
green this green might be like 100 yards. I'm not even joking. It's a 2-tiered green. Obviously I missed short and have to putt up, so whenever I have that, it's just a guessing game, kind of pray for the best. And you know, if you told me that I could lag it up to about 4 feet with the chance of par after being about 80, 90 feet away, I would take that 10 times out of 10. Super happy with that. And then here's where not playing the course really kills me. So you'll notice it's kind of a blind tee shot. The grint wasn't loading for me. I know it just goes left, so I kind of guessed. I picked a spot that was right before the bunker, in between the trees. We play a punchy, I think this was a punchy 8-iron into like 100 yards. But you'll notice that tree and that branch right there, it was in my way, so it didn't want to even flirt with it. We somehow get it on the green. This was a big left to right snapper, and ooh, thought we had it. Almost had a birdie. That would have been the luckiest birdie ever. But if I could play this course over again, I'd probably that was one of the tee shots I would probably want back. And then this is I think the last par 3 of the 18. Very straightforward. Just bunker left, bunker right, pretty flat, and then just OB long. So what sucks is you'll notice right there the sand. It rained a couple days before. Some of the bunkers were pure. Some were pretty crappy like that one. We got stuck on a crappy one, and you know, obviously I'm just going to say that because that's you know, just a bad shot. I'm going to blame it on everything but my swing. But last par 5, so we're on hole 16. Look how narrow that is. Look at that tee shot. You have left, right, and that right-hand side, those trees, those creep up faster than you think. So my gut was miss left. We obviously missed too far left. This is like the second cut. And then I had no idea where I was swinging to. That was just a wild guess, and we end up okay. And this is going to be a dart. I believe I had like 125 in, and I take a pitching wedge and I throw it. I've been, you can see that 4 or 5 feet. I've been swinging my wedges pretty good. So my driver's been shaky, but the good result is, you know, I feel so confident. This is probably the best I've ever felt from about 125 and in. Put a wedge in my hand, and I think we will be, you know, we'll be pretty good. And so the last 2 holes, I remember looking at the grint, just 2 pretty straightforward par 4s, nothing too crazy. But you can see how 17 and 18 kind of take you back towards the clubhouse. So that it reintroduces kind of the open linksy style again. Like, look at the course behind me. Beautiful shot, by the way. I mean, I picked a really good day. Outside of the wind, I couldn't have asked for a better almost fall day. I can't remember when I filmed this, but here we are on hole 18, final tee shot of the day. Nothing too crazy. I remember looking at the grint, and it was just kind of I won't say a dog leg left, but it kind of goes left, so I had to play a draw, which I end up hitting pretty good. Went nowhere, though. I think the wind ate it. That was a chunky monkey 5-iron, which left me so short. Look at the Metro car on the left-hand side. You know you're back in the city, and I just think this is such a cool finishing hole. You have the clubhouse and everything on the right. You have the city and Metro stop to the left. I mean, you are in DC. Welcome to Muni Golf. And by the way, that was a sneaky rude up and down. So there we are. There we finish. You can see my score on the screen. I think I played very well, but for anyone that hasn't checked this course out, please do so. Loved it. Hope you did too. And until next time.